It's Monday, so we got another big show on tap, which includes your second Super Bowl prop. I'll give you guys 4 NBA player props for tonight and an NBA teaser. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets as always. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode, the Monday edition here of Winning Bets, where we give out free sports picks every single day. Thanks for kicking off with your week with me. Let's kick it off by recapping the weekend. Then we'll also recap last week, and because we're at the start of a new month, let's see how we did in January. If we go ahead and put up the weekend stats, as you guys can see, I only ended up sticking to that one pick on Friday that I gave you guys on Friday's show. My son was just kicking my ass all weekend, it seemed, or all day on Friday, so I just never got time to do the proper research. So just stuck with that Knicks pick, and then Knicks, they went ahead and won that game. So started off with a nice cash there on Friday, plus 0.96 units. Rolled on into Saturday. While the day started off with the cash, it wasn't profitable overall. We went 2-3 on Saturday. We lost 1.23 units. Got both teams a score there in West Brom versus Fulham. The four-legged soccer parlay did not cash. City won the game. Bayern won the game. Dortmund won the game. But Real, they picked up a red card after going up 1-0. And I don't care who you are, it's going to be really hard to win a soccer game when you're only playing with 10 men. So that was the result in that four-legged parlay that tripped that one up. Seton Hall +5. I went ahead and made a bet around that Fox Bet Super 6 app contest that we did there. So Seton Hall didn't cover the +5, but the game did go over 141.5 points. So got one of those two bets there right. And then Michael Bridges, player there for the Suns, he did not go over 14.5 points. That was a really kind of a bad beat there. He had 14 points after the third period, and after the third quarter, he had 3 layups in the fourth quarter. 2 of them were blocked, and one of them he just missed. So really unfortunate, couldn't get one of those layups to fall for us there and cash that. But bounce back Sunday, had a real nice 2-0 sweep on Sunday and plus 1.66 units. So the day started off with Leicester versus Leeds United. Both teams are scoring over 2.5. 2 quick goals within 15 minutes, with each of them getting a goal. So we just needed 1 goal over the course of the game. The third goal didn't come maybe until the 70th or the 75th minute, but not only did the third goal come, but the fourth goal also came, so got a little breathing room there, so nice cash there. Then I gave you guys an NBA teaser. Gave you guys a 3-legged NBA teaser, took 2 dogs and made them bigger dogs, and then took a very slight favorite and made it a double-digit dog there, and that parlay ended up coming home to us. So overall, it was profitable, though, on the weekend. It went 5-3 on the weekend and plus 1.39 units. If we take a look now and see how we've done overall in terms of the week and in terms of the month, I'll go ahead and put this up. Let's start off there towards the bottom just because it has the more recent week. You can see January 25th to January 31st, the week that just passed. We went 19-9, just an absolutely fantastic week here, and putting 19.83 units in your pocket. That feels really, really good to stuff our pockets with a lot of money there. As you guys can see there in the overall tweet there, 4 of the 5 weeks in January were profitable. A couple of them were small margins, but then obviously the big monster week that we just came off of, and then the one week that was negative, it was down about 5 units, which is, I think that's a pretty good amount of damage there, so we don't look to repeat that. But overall, just a good, fantastic month in January. Overall, 80-74 and plus 17.96 units. Outstanding work there. Whatever your unit size is, multiply it by 17, and we just put a lot of that money in your pocket. So just a great, fantastic week. If we go ahead and put up where we're at now in our sports books, remember we start off putting $500 in DraftKings, $500 in FanDuel, and $500 in PointsBet on January 1st. Well, that's where we're at right now. Well, as you can see, it brings us a total to $1,269, which is above about $269. So we know our unit size here is $15. So if we divide that by 15, that's a shade under 18 units. And that obviously, falls right in line with the previous tweet I just showed you there, where we were, by, what was it, 17.97 units, I believe it was. So there you go. Just a good, fantastic January. What a way to kick off 2021. Let's keep it rolling on into February. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I've got a couple of things I want to share with you guys here before we get into the bets. guys remember I told you that these sports books are just dying for your business and they'll just throw free money out at you? Well, one happened sometime while I was asleep last night. You guys remember this tweet I sent up about FanDuel? FanDuel goes through maintenances like every other business, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. But you guys can see on this tweet that I sent out, I put this tweet essentially in an email, that basically it's frustrating that they don't tell you when this maintenance starts. You have no idea when this 8-hour window is going to end up, so you have no idea if you should hold off, make bets with FanDuel in a little bit, or go ahead and make the bets on DraftKings. Well, I took this tweet, dropped it into, like I said, an email to FanDuel, and they went and hit me back, and they were like, something like, good idea, here's a free $10 bet, for your patience of waiting throughout that maintenance. So, I mean, just a regular planned maintenance that FanDuel does all the time. I call them out and say, you should, maybe add this to your splash screen there, kind of informing people when the maintenance starts. And they gave me $10. So, I mean, since FanDuel's launched here in our market, they've gone through these maintenances, I don't know, a dozen times. So try it out, guys. Try it out. Next time you log into FanDuel and you get this splash screen that says, there's a maintenance going on, just drop it in an email, kind of say the same thing I did. See if you can't work yourself a nice $10, free bet there. And that goes in our bankroll, which of those monies that I just showed you there in that on that banner there across the bottom, I haven't, because it happened sometime while I was sleeping, doesn't factor in that $10. So our week here, we'll start off with plus 0.66 units. So at the end of the day, when I send out the Monday recap, I'll include this FanDuel, $10 free money that they want to go ahead and throw at me. FanDuel wasn't the only one handing out free money over the weekend. DraftKings also gave me free money. Check this out. So I received an in-app notification from DraftKings that I had a mission available. And when I got that notification, I sat there and I thought, like, man, there was a mission that I got about a week or so ago that was, place 4 or so bets at like $10 or $15. And if you do that, we'll give you $10. Well, I couldn't remember if I had satisfied that. I make a ton of bets, so I was pretty sure I had. So I logged in the app, and there's no way to view an old mission or not one that I could find. So, as guys, you can see here on the screen, I went ahead and fired off the email, to DraftKings, and was like, where can I view an old mission to see if I accomplished that and got the free bet? Well, here they are on their reply saying, hey, we're too busy. We haven't quite had time to address your issue. But in the meantime, while you wait for a reply, here's a free $10 free bet. So, they're throwing money at me too. We know the difference with DraftKings is they don't add it in your bankroll. Rather, it's a $10 free bet that you have to use doing that. So what I'm going to do with that $10 is I'm going to make not a crazy parlay in terms of, reach in terms of things I think will hit. Crazy in terms of size. I'm going to wait till Wednesday. You guys remember we got the Fox Bet Super 6 app and other NBA contests. I'm going to make a parlay of some substantial size, use that free $10 bet, and if it hits, I'm going to go ahead and give the profits there to you guys. So just wait to see on Wednesday. I'll reveal what that parlay is, so we'll all know what we're rooting for. I'll go ahead and use that $10 free bet and see if we can hook up you guys with some more money. Speaking of more money, you guys know that over the weekend I told you we still had the free giveaway bet. I told you that I was going to tweet out which bet of the weekend selection that I had was going to be the free giveaway bet. Well, as you guys know from following me on Twitter, it was the Leicester and Leeds bet of both teams to score an over 2.5. And as we know, it hit. So that means someone is getting $22 on today's show. All the names are in this hat. Let's draw one out. And just a reminder, if you're sitting there and you know your name's not in this hat because you're wondering how you can get in that hat, we're almost a quarter of the way through this contest. When we get halfway through this contest, I'll open it up and everybody can resubmit an entry to get into this free giveaway. So, don't worry if you're not in this hat. I'd say hopefully get in it soon, but the ones that are in it know that you don't want to get into it too soon. We want to keep the winning going. But yeah, if you're not in this hat, don't worry. You'll get in it here at some point in the near future. So with that being said, all the names are in this hat. Let's go ahead and draw one out and give somebody $22. Thanks to Leicester and Leeds. Both teams to score over 2 points. What a great bet that was. That was so easy. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's do this one right here. Let's do this one. We've got Stop Capping. Stop Capping. Go ahead and hit me up on Twitter. All you got to do is go ahead and send me a DM on Twitter with your PayPal information, and I'll go ahead and drop you that $22. And as always, thanks for everybody for playing along and supporting the show. All right, let's get on into some bets. Let's start with the Super Bowl bets. Before I do give you that Super Bowl prop, the prop bet that I've got, I went ahead and threw up a poll there on my community tab here. I'm just curious who you guys think will win the Super Bowl, and that's exactly what the poll is. It's just, who do you think is going to win, Chiefs or Bucks? So I'm interested to see what you guys think. So if you want to, go ahead, go ahead and make a vote on that poll, but also go ahead and drop in a comment. There's already been a couple funny ones saying that there's no way they're going to fade Tom Brady. Not that I can't necessarily disagree with them, but I definitely got a nice little laugh, reading those comments. So if you want, go ahead and answer that poll. But with that being said, you guys remember I'm giving you 7 Super Bowl props. I've already given you one. Here's your second one. Which was that first one? Oh yeah, the first one was Mahomes have more passing completions than Brady. Made that bet over at DraftKings. Here comes the second one. It's going to be revolved around any time touchdowns being scored. If you look at just postseason stats, Travis Kelce has 3 of the 4 passing touchdowns that the Chiefs have scored this postseason. He has the most targets on the team, and he has the most receptions on the team. If we look at Mike Evans, he leads the team in this postseason with 2 touchdowns. He's second on the team with targets. So I went ahead and took what I think are each player from each team, just bona fide, you can never guarantee who's going to get a touchdown, but these guys are going to get looks in the red zone. The quarterback's going to be looking their way to get points on the board. So I went ahead and did a parlay. I did Travis Kelce anytime touchdown, parlay that with Mike Evans anytime touchdown, and you can find that over at FanDuel at plus 230. Plus 230 for both of those guys. You get a touchdown. That'd be a nice, really nice cash there if they can both come through. So that's 2 of the 7 Super Bowl bets. And guys, remember, as we get through this week, we'll kind of just roll out the rest of them as I make them, as the research says. And by the end of the week, you'll have 7 Super Bowl bets. All right, as for action tonight, I've got 4 NBA prop bets for you, and then again, I've got an NBA teaser for you. Let's start off with the NBA player props. Let's start off with that Grizzlies versus Spurs game. Look, this Spurs defense, they're 29th in field goal percentage allowed, they're 28th in three-point field goal percentage allowed, and they're 23rd in defensive efficiency. Spurs, in their last 7 games against small forwards, are in the bottom third in points allowed, field goal percentage allowed, and three-pointers made. So I'm going to go ahead and look at Kyle Anderson here. He had 16 points against the Spurs on Saturday. His over-under is set at 12.5, so that's the bet. Kyle Anderson over 12.5 points, and that's plus 104 over at FanDuel. Moving right along now, if we look at Pistons versus Nuggets. Pistons versus Nuggets. Anybody think they know what this one is? All right, so Denver's number is 6th in the league in field goal percentage allowed. And if we look at Nuggets against power forwards this season, they're just a tick. They're just a tick below being in the top third in points allowed, field goal percentage allowed, and three-pointers made allowed to power forwards. Blake Griffin is a power forward. The numbers say he should struggle in this matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and take Blake Griffin under 13.5 points. And you can find that at minus 112 over at FanDuel. Next NBA player prop is we're going to look at here is the Trailblazers versus the Bucks. I'm going to look at Giannis for this one. We've got Trailblazers versus power forwards in their last 7 games. They rank in the bottom of the league in points allowed, field goal percentage allowed, and three-pointers made allowed. The Bucks are also on a 2-game losing streak with Giannis scoring 30-plus in each of those games. I love that the Bucks are struggling here in terms of just team-wise struggling. Now, they're at home now in this contest here, going up against the Blazers. I'm expecting just a really good monster night for Giannis, get his team a win. And again, just power forwards are having their way against Trailblazers. So I'm going to go ahead and take Giannis over 29.5 points. And that comes in at minus 110 over at DraftKings. Then the last NBA prop bet I want to give you guys is looking at that Thunders versus Rockets game. I'm going to look at Oladipo here for this one. Thunder versus shooting guards in their last 7 games. They too rank in the bottom of the league in points allowed, field goal percentage allowed, and three-pointers made allowed to shooting guards. Oladipo in his last 2 games is heating up. You guys remember we've kind of stayed off Oladipo because he's been cold. That's not the case in his last 2 games. He's shooting 47.8% from the field and 50% from the field in his last 2 games. And the Rockets to shooting guards, I told you they were towards the bottom of the league in field goal percentage allowed to shooting guards. Well, in fact, the actual number is 59.4% is the percentage that they're allowing their shooting guards to make on this season, or not on the season, in the last 7 games. So I'm going to go ahead and ride Victor Oladipo on this, see if he can't remain, keep his hot streak going here with the combination of the Thunder just allowing shooting guards to have their way. So Victor Oladipo over 20.5 points, and you can find that at minus 125 over at PointsBet. And then the last bet for you here for this evening is, again, it's an NBA teaser. I like the Bucks winning, so that's one of the plays. I just, Bucks on a 2-game losing streak, going home. The line is Bucks -10, so the Bucks should certainly take care of business and at least win the game by some amount of points. So went ahead and did Bucks money line. Went ahead and parlayed them with Nuggets -2.5. Again, they're playing the Pistons. The Pistons. When I was doing my research, I focus more on defensive numbers. Guys, defense always generally comes to play every single night. When I look at them on the rankings, it was like Pistons were always here and Nuggets were like always here. It didn't matter what statistic I was looking up, the Pistons were just always lower than the Nuggets there. So I like the Nuggets at home, coming off a nice impressive win against the Jazz, probably one of the best teams in the NBA in terms of how they are playing right now. So I like the Nuggets to win by -2.5. And then the last team to parlay them is with the Knicks. They're at Bulls this season. No, they're at the Bulls tonight. I just don't see them getting blown out. When I looked up their stats, whether it was offense and defensive stats, the Knicks either do everything better in terms of defensive wise. The Knicks are a better defensive team, but in terms of offensive wise, they're neck and neck. So not a whole lot of separation between those teams. And I get the better defensive team. I'll go ahead and take Knicks plus 12.5 to round out that parlay, and that comes in at plus 103 over a points bet. All right, guys, so that'll be the card today. No soccer on today's action. There's really only one game going on in La Liga, so we'll look to maybe pick up some soccer a little bit later on the week. But really excited for these 4 NBA player props tonight, and of course that NBA teaser as well. So go ahead and hit this like button. Let me know you guys were a part of that monster week we just came off of, the monster month we just came off of, and go ahead and hit that like button to let me know that you're going to ride along with me here on these player props and teaser props as well. Otherwise, we'll come back on tomorrow's show. We'll recap these bets, and we'll start off another day with some more bets. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.